So welcome to the city of York in North Yorkshire. A wonderful city full of incredible history, and we're just going to have a little walk along the old walls here. Original Roman walls, now medieval walls that circle the city. So this is Clifford Tower, and this was the site of the worst Jewish pogrom in British history in 1190, when the Jews sought refuge in this tower and were besieged by the residents of York, and many of the Jews actually took their own lives in this tower, men, women and children, rather than falling into the hands of the baying mob. It's a place rich in history, but rich in tragic history. So here it says, on the night of Friday the 16th of March 1190, some 150 Jews and Jewesses of York, having sought protection in the royal castle on this site from a mob incited by Richard Melbis and others, chose to die at each other's hands rather than to renounce their faith. This is York Court. So this is Monk Bar, one of the entrances into the city. The city walls themselves are 2 miles in length, the longest remaining city walls in the UK. So here we have a very fine view of the west front of York Minster. A wonder of medieval architecture. One of the largest cathedrals also in Europe.
We added the original medieval. So what we also is we have abseilers that go up there.
So here we are inside York Minster. So they've cleared the nave of all the chairs, and this is often how it would have been in the medieval times, where the nave would have been used for commerce, for everyday business, and the sacred part of the cathedral used for worship would tend to be in the choir beyond the screen. And when they remove the chairs, you get to see the wonderful patterns they have on the floor. Although to get a proper view of that, you really need to look at it from a height. And a very impressive screen here. Not dissimilar to the one at Ripon Cathedral, but larger, grander. So this is the south transept, and 40 years ago, on the 9th of July 1984, the south transept was struck by lightning and burnt down, and there was a big campaign to restore it. But those of us of a certain age may remember that there was a competition run by Blue Peter, a children's TV programme here in the UK, to design one of the bosses that would replace the ones that were lost in the fire. And you won't be able to pick it up on this camera, but you can see several of those bosses above me, including one which shows, I think, an astronaut. But I remember very vividly Blue Peter running that competition. Some people said that the fire at York Minster was a result of David Jenkins, who was consecrated Bishop of Durham in York Minster 35 hours before lightning struck the minster and it burnt down, and it was David Jenkins that had provoked a lot of controversy over his views on the resurrection. So some said it was punishment, divine punishment. I'll make your own mind up about that. Looking up towards the central tower. A good view here of the flying buttresses and how they support the weight of the walls. Welcome to the top of York Minster. Slightly out of breath, but managed to get up here before anyone else. And here we have a good view over York, looking towards Clifford's tower. So here we have the Shambles, the most famous street in York, and also believed to be the inspiration for Diagon Alley in Harry Potter. Ancient medieval street. It's Halloween today, and it's hard to know if people are dressed up for Halloween or whether this is just how they normally dress.
Thank you. You go to me the pink.
Oh, this is Harry Potter, is it? Oh, okay. So this is the queue to get into this Harry Potter theme shop. Another one over there as well. So this is Our Lady's Row, Goodram Gate, the oldest surviving row of houses in York, built in 1316.
Snowballs at the door, guy.
What do you think of York?
I love York. I've been to British Heart Foundation, Oxfam and Subway.
So you recommend York for all those things?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Charity shops and Subway.
Yes.
You're very sophisticated.
That's why you married me.
So here we have a statue of Queen Elizabeth II, which was erected apparently about 18 months ago. How do you fancy living there, Beata? Nice house? This is the cathedral close. If you work for the Minster, this is where you live, I think.
I can't do much more work.
A bench for the old people. You get very rude as they get older as well. So that's the deanery where the Dean of York Minster lives. Not a bad house. Not a bad view. So York Minster is the mother church for the northern province of the Church of England. It's a beautiful tree. Part of the Ghosts in the Park sculpture trail. Ruins of an old abbey.
No problem here, sir.
So this is the house where Guy Fawkes was born. Getting ready for Christmas. Visiting the Yorvik Viking Centre, which I first came to 40 years ago when it first opened. Viking wall and a replica of the Viking excavation below.
Animal bones and antler from deer to make some everyday objects such as combs, comb cases, skates and bone pins. H. Smiths were masters of their craft, and here in Yorvik they made everything from needles to beautifully ornate padlocks. It's a genetic disorder that runs in families and seen particularly in middle-aged men. There is lots of evidence for there being a Viking-era church just behind Coppergate, and there were many other new churches built in Yorvik at this time. In this backyard, animals have been slaughtered to provide meat and other resources. Poetry must have been important in the Viking world. Iceland and Scandinavia.
So that's our day in York coming to an end. Just going to head back to the car and drive back to Ripon where we've been staying. Just out of interest, we parked at York railway station. We got here at 10 o'clock. It's now about 5:30. So been here 7.5 hours or something like that. But anyway, we've paid £7.50 for parking today at York railway station, which is very good value indeed, and also has the advantage of being right in the centre of York, so very close to all the attractions. So if you are travelling into York by car, looking for a place to park, York railway station is a good place to try out. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you have, please do like and subscribe, and particular greetings to the gentleman I met at Clifford Tower whilst I was filming. Thank you so much for subscribing, and until next time, take care, God bless.